Hey, thank you so much for being with us today. Today, we're really happy to have Kelsey with us. She is a marketing expert. She's going to tell us a little bit more about the business that she runs. So, welcome, Kelsey. So happy to have you here.
You, Angel. I'm happy to be here. Would you
Awesome.
like me to tell you a little bit about us?
Yeah, I want to, like, if you can tell us a little bit about you, your experience, and then the business that you run.
Yeah, so I work with Chatterkick. I'm the CFO and co-owner of Chatterkick, which is a social media agency. We've been in business a little over 12 years, and we primarily deal in the digital world, so social media services and pretty much all website work. Personally, I have been in a background with project management, construction, and kind of had a 10-year experience there. Met Beth, my partner and co-owner, founder of Chatterkick, fell in love with the company, the culture, and made that transition in 2016. So I've been with them for a little over 9 years.
That's great. Perfect. So I think we've been working together for a few months now. And then recently we got a second hire. So tell us a little bit more about that need that you have. I think it was 8 or 9 months ago when your team was growing, your company is growing, and you have that huge need. What was going through at that time in terms of finding talent?
So at that time when we discovered your company, we were looking for some help with graphic design and creative development. We do have a full staff, and we have 18 people who can deal in some sort of graphic design or creative development. And we also have an art team, a creative team for designated individuals who lead in our creative design and brand guidelines. At that time, we were looking to hire another designated creative developer, someone who would primarily work in the creative space. And we really wanted to diversify, and we also wanted to find someone who had experience and who would be more plug and play, just come in and have the experience ready for day one, contributing and joining the team, kind of trying to lessen that training time required. Beth had heard about your company through, I believe, a forum that she was on. And so we reached out, and that's how we got started.
Awesome. Let me ask you something. What was your biggest fear when we got the project started? In terms of, um, were you 100% sure that we could find that talent? What was your biggest fear at that point?
I would say we've worked with recruitment companies in the past, and what we have found through some negative experiences is that we would receive a ton of interviews, candidates,
Mm,
and we would be kind of stuck in the cycle for 4 months or so and be really excited, and we wouldn't find the candidate or the experience required. We find that with our agency and sort of some of the differentiators that we focus on, that a lot of times we'll get sent candidates over and over again that just have a complete misalignment on experience,
mm,
who are coming from realms where they're more focused on one client, one set of goals. And we pride ourselves on agency life and being able to have a focus on multiple types of businesses, multiple industries, and that is difficult to find. And so my biggest fear would be an elongated timeline with, at the end of the
hmm.
day, not having a candidate.
Okay, that makes sense. And how was the process when we started sending you, instead of sending you a lot of candidates, just sending you a few that were good?
I would say so. I was actually the naysayer in this whole process. I'll be honest, because of my negative
I
experience.
remember that.
I was in the background, kind of like, I really hope this works, but I never turned off our recruiting process at the same time because I was
Hmm.
fearful. But the interview with you and your team was thorough in the beginning, and I felt like we were heard. So the recommendations on what we were looking for were listened to. And after, I think it was about 4 weeks, we received really great candidates. And so I think on the first one we received four, if I recall.
Hmm.
Of the four, two were fantastic candidates. We would have hired both if we had the bandwidth to do so. But at that time, we ended up choosing one, and she's been fantastic. Day one, she was contributing. I think she had her first client shout out like week 2. It was a home run, which is kind of what led us to that next gap. We had an employee go on leave and was going to be out for about 6 months. So rather than panicking or starting our recruitment process, we came straight to your team and found our second partnership. And likewise, she's been amazing. I would say the biggest difference with your team versus before is that even midway through the recruiting process on your side, we would send you softwares, tools, or just shifts. Hey, I think this would help us if the
Hmm.
employee had this one thing. And every time when you came back, we did always have stellar candidates.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember that. There was very specific tools that you used, and seems like our approach more into the headhunting, finding what you really need instead of sending you whoever we have in our talent pool works best for marketing agencies. So, what would you tell to someone who's going through the same process as you, trying to decide if this is a good option for them?
Yeah, I would say to trust your gut and give it a try. We have been really happy with our results so far. Both of the candidates that we've hired, I believe, will be hopefully long term partners of ours in the future. I thought the process was smooth and the results were quick. And I do think it felt like a tailored approach. It felt very much like the candidates were found with specific experience that we had requested, and they felt excited to partner with us as well. So it's been pleasant, and I would say go for it.
Awesome. Sounds pretty good. And last question, you run pretty much a remote team. What would be your number one advice for other people running remote teams and how to be successful as you has been?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have been remote since before remote was popular. So I know
Hmm.
everyone kind of rushed to remote when COVID hit and they had to figure things out quickly. For us, we've been remote friendly since
Hmm.
origin. And so we kind of had figured this stuff out, which, the tips that I would give is culture is hyper important. And so when it's not happening
Mm.
in the office, you have to make sure it's happening and that you're providing opportunities for it to happen in the remote space. So whether that's like culture events, surveys, encouraging feedback, we have events all year long where folks can contribute if they want to, or if they're feeling in a space where they're not really wanting that collaboration. It's not forced. It's all
Hmm.
encouraged, and we just try to make sure that folks feel heard and like they feel like there's a strong culture of collaboration and support.
Awesome. Sounds pretty good. Thank you so much, Kelsey. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. We really appreciate having you here and being here with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed our partnership, and I'm sure we'll do way more collaboration and partnership in the future.
Awesome. Happy to hear that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.